Hi, Jeff Ray here, President CEO, South Bend Regional Chamber. We're continuing candidate interviews today. I'm sitting down with Amy Rolfes. Amy is a candidate for county clerk. Amy, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So these have been great forums for us just to help our members better understand candidates for different offices and understand the offices as well too. So for somebody who isn't familiar with Amy Rolfes, tell us a little bit about who she is.
All right. Well, thanks again. Amy Rolfes is not your typical politician at all. I have had a lifetime of service to the community. I graduated with a degree in education, both a bachelor's and a master's. And then I went to work as a classroom teacher. So I taught in all the way from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. Some special ed middle school in there as well. So I gleaned a lot of information and how to work with a lot of different people, whether or not it was school administrators or different families in crisis and things like that. So I did that for quite a few years, a classroom teacher. I'm actually a reading specialist, so that's what I love, reading and books and all of that. Then from there, I became the executive director of a nonprofit that was the mission was to close the achievement gap, which is a very big mission.
Yeah.
And so we were serving low-income students, about 100 students a week and 100 community volunteers a week. And I did that for about 10 years. The students would come to an after-school program and we would test them it's a very intricate reading test that they did. And then we would create a plan for them for the entire school year that our community volunteer would use. And we kept a lot of data on the kids. It was sort of the beginning of mining data and using data for particular outcomes. And the program was very successful. We had I think it was 84% of our students increase their reading grade level by at least 1 or 2 grades in a 6-month period. So it was combining a lot of systems together with working with the community. And that gave me a whole nother area of management and executive skills to use. Managing a big budget. I also did a lot of fundraising in a nonprofit. As we all know, that's what you're constantly doing. So I was able to work with private companies and specific donors, foundations and corporations and government entities at the same time in drumming up money for the Family Learning Institute was the name of the place. So I was there for about 10 years and loved it. And then an opportunity came for me to move to South Africa and to be the director of an orphanage over in South Africa. So all the kids had grown and gone and everyone was on their own. And I thought it was a great opportunity to serve a community over in South Africa. And I did that for about 1.5 years. And that gave me both management and organizational kinds of experiences in South Africa. So again, using a lot of the skills that I had learned from being in the school system and then in the nonprofit system, and then over in South Africa to work with a whole different group of people. They were culturally very, very different. The staff, we had about 50 staff and 50 children. And so I feel that I've had just a lifetime of service and always with the heart, always serving with the heart. So Amy Rolfes now is interested in bringing that service to the community through a different way, through government office. So I think throughout my whole lifetime experiences, it has led me to a place where I can serve in this capacity as well. So.
Great. Well, thank you, Amy, and thanks for your service and all that you've done for young people and such. I really appreciate it. So you make the decision to run for public office, which isn't a decision that people make lightly, and you decide to seek St. Joseph County clerk. Tell us a little bit about sort of maybe first that decision to do that, and then just kind of the clerk the clerk position in particular, people who don't know, what that is and why it's important, help them understand why that position's an important spot.
Oh, sure, sure. Well, I had been involved with the Republican Party for a few years and volunteered in a lot of different ways. And when the election time rolled around and there was an open seat for the county clerk, meaning our current county clerk, Rita Glenn, has to retire because she has served as many terms as she can. So it is an open seat. And some of the Republican women approached me and said, and this is true, Jeff, this is really how it happened. Hey, Amy, we've been watching you and you seem to get along with a lot of different kinds of people. And there's an open seat for the county clerk. And we were wondering if you would run for that seat. And I literally said, sure, why not? That would be an adventure. And really thinking, that's just another opportunity to serve. So I was excited about it. And I made a decision that I really would enjoy a campaign. I would look forward to meeting new people, learning new things. And here we are just less than a month out from the end of the campaign, and I'm still enjoying it. I really am. The county clerk is a very, very important position in the county, yet most people don't know about it. And the highest priority of the county clerk is to be in charge of everything in relationship to elections. So that is absolutely in the spotlight right now. Lots of different news sources producing lots of different things about the county clerk and the administration that's going on there. But in addition to elections and election security is all of the judicial branch, the judicial system filters everything through the county clerk's office. It does the recording of all the everything that comes through the court system. So it is, when you say a county clerk and everybody thinks of a guy writing things down in a book, that aspect of the county clerk job is correct. Marriage licenses go through the county clerk's office, traffic violations, child support payments, things like that. But again, circling back to the election issue, that is the main, the highest priority for the clerk's office. So.
Sure. So Amy, hearing this, it sounds like a pretty decent size budget, a really decent size staff to sort of administer all that. Talk about that, the administrative piece of this, sort of the running of the different operations, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will go back to my lifetime of experiences being in different organizations that are all set up differently, different vendors, different purposes, different missions, and things like that. So this county clerk, there are, I believe it's 54 employees within the clerk's office, and there are several offices that the clerk has as well. In Mishawaka and the juvenile justice system and things. So there are lots of the clerks themselves work in separate areas. And so I think it's really important to include and to listen to those clerks that are in those like satellite offices. I guess that's a good way to think of it. And to have them feel a part of the team, because most of the work is done down at the county city building at the clerk's office down there. So, but in regards to creating budgets, needing executive skills to work with lots of different groups and I mean, literally listen to people and listen to different groups. Those are skills that I have a proven track record of being successful with. And that is what the county clerk does. It's a management position, overseeing lots of different people and lots of different issues. And so I'm feeling very good about that I would be able to, never been in politics before, never worked for the county clerk's office before, but certainly bringing a fresh perspective to the clerk's office and to the way that things can be done. So.
Great. So as you've become familiar with, like the different responsibilities and such here, what kind of things, as you hit, if you're elected, as you hit the ground running, what are Amy's priorities as she begins her service with the county?
Well, I thank you for that question. That's a good one. Just moving forward. Again, I think I will reference the current climate, like as of today, right now. There's lots of controversy surrounding the clerk's office. So moving forward, I do have a very specific plan based on what's currently happening. So I will make sure that absentee ballots are handled in a bipartisan way. Anytime a ballot is handled, an absentee ballot, the clerk's office is dedicated to serving the voters, whether the voter is a Democrat or a Republican or an independent. So from all the way from the time an absentee ballot arrives anywhere in any office, it will be a bipartisan effort to make sure that everyone's vote will count and every ballot is handled in a bipartisan way. And that would include where they are stored. There's this, election laws. There are several election laws in order to keep our ballots safe, keep everyone's absentee ballot safe. And so the first thing I would do is make sure that there are 2 locks on the absentee ballot door and that the respective parties have those locks. And they have those, I'm sorry, they have those keys to those locks. And the ballot storage room as well, I would make sure that that is locked at all times, so no one can get into the room unless they are an authorized person. I would keep a log. Just simple common sense things. A log, who goes into the ballot room, why are they there, and what time they go in, what time they go out. And certainly when it comes to hiring people to work within the elections, in any capacity, I will absolutely make sure that no one has been convicted of any kind of election fraud, and if in order to ensure that every ballot is counted and everything is handled in a very bipartisan way, because I will work for the voters. I will work for every voter, not by party, but just for every voter. So those are very important things. They're very hot topics right now. And again, I just want to look forward, move forward, and make the best for the voters of St. Joseph County. That's my
Yep.
highest priority.
Great. Amy, this your first foray into running for office. Anything what's that experience been like? What's anything surprise you? Give us some insight into being a candidate and what your last few months have been like.
I will say joyful. That's what I will say, Jeff. It has been, it's a pleasure to meet all of these people. You included. I met you in an event and it's like, oh my gosh. So just meeting people that I never would have met had I not been a candidate. And my door-to-door campaigning has been so much fun. It's just been delightful. Everybody would think, oh, going door to door makes you nervous. I love to look at the flowers. I love to look at their seasonal decorations. And if someone wants to answer the door, they do. And I've gone to over 3,000 doors and I've had one negative interaction. And that negative interaction was, I think he said, well, I'm a Democrat. I'll never vote for a Republican. So here are your materials back. And I said, well, thanks for saving me some money. And also, isn't it a great country? Because you can have your opinion, I can have mine, and we can express it through our votes. So if that was the worst it's been, I thought it was just very interesting and a delightful interaction. So
Great.
just been fun, one fun thing after the next.
Great. So as we're wrapping up, and we appreciate the chance to get to know you a little bit better. So people are going to head into the ballot box. They're going to make a choice for county clerk. Tell them why they should pick Amy Rolfes as their new county clerk.
They should pick Amy Rolfes to be the next county clerk because I am committed to honest elections in every regard.
Great. Amy, thank you so much. If folks were interested in finding more information about your campaign, where would we send them to?
AmyRolfes.com.
Awesome. Amy, thanks so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate the opportunity.